parade edition of Mic'd Up on this cold and chilly Wednesday. Parade time in Kansas City, and hopefully if you did not make it to Kansas City, you left very, very early because, my goodness, the Kansas City Chiefs faithful are in full force in downtown Kansas City leading into Union Station. My goodness, there are fans who, according to everybody on social media, if you were not waiting at your spot along the parade route or near Union Station by 8 o'clock this morning, you're going to be about 4 or 5 rows deep. I mean, it is absolutely packed already at Union Station because you ready for this? This is a huge flex. When you've had a parade just 3 years ago, you kind of know how things are going to go.
Yeah.
And so everybody got to Union Station early today. Early, but what a crowd today in Kansas City. Jake and Fulton Caster with you. Give you some updates from the parade. We'll talk plenty of Chiefs. We will get to the parade rally. So that will be scheduled to start at 1:45. And so we will hear from 15 people before we hear from the Chiefs players. So we'll get to that. We'll get to all that in the 2 o'clock hour. So a lot to discuss here on today. And if you're on your way back home from the parade, let us know your thoughts on how it was. I can tell you this. It's not much warmer than it was 3 years ago. Because it's like 35 degrees out there. It's cold today. It's cold. But hopefully
you know what warms you up? A lot of beer.
Well, technically, scientifically, it doesn't.
It just makes you feel warmer.
It does make you feel a little warm.
Yes. No. It does not actually warm you up. Please, nobody take the advice of me saying drink beer to be warm. It doesn't work. Please don't.
Yes. Mitch Holtis and Casey Wolf riding together, it looks like. So that is,
of course, the dynamic duo.
A tandem for both. Mitch, of course, will be the MC for this edition of the parade. It'll be a lot of fun. Patrick, they're on the double-decker buses, and it's a huge, gigantic party in downtown, and hopefully everyone maintains some sort of sanity and composure, and we don't have any instances at all during this fun celebration. That is what the hope should be.
It's what it should be. Also, just before the parade started, Patrick Mahomes already tweeting out, going to be a long day. I assume that man's already several adult beverages deep.
Yeah.
He said more than a few Coors Lights.
So we will get to the parade rally, which will be at 1:45. Now, basically what you do in this situation is you either go to the parade part or you go to the rally part. You're not able to go to both.
It's pretty impossible.
You have to go to one or the other. There's no point in trying to do both. You got to pick and choose. So we will get to that coming up today here on Mic'd Up. As always, hit us up on our Big O Tires text line, 785-272-9429. Very simple, very easy. 785-272-9429. Hit us up on our YouTube page. You can check us out, Sports on 580. So let us know your thoughts going into today's parade and rally. We'll talk with Kellis Robinett coming up at the top of the hour of the 1 o'clock hour. Everyone loves the list today. List of parades. Like, what's the list of parades?
Okay.
I like parades.
They're all right.
What's wrong with a parade, man? What? Okay. Why are they just all right? What?
I like. It's just you're standing and watching a bunch of stuff go past you.
And
That's not fun to me.
Okay.
Like,
right.
I've been to one victory parade the city of Kansas City has had. I went to the Royals victory parade.
Yeah.
Was a fairly fun time. Like, I enjoyed the environment and being around a bunch of people that are celebrating the same thing I did. But overall, I probably will never go to a victory parade ever again. Like, it's not an experience I need to have again. I wanted to do it once. I'm glad I did it once.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell everybody, go to your team's victory parade at least once.
Correct.
For one of your teams. But once you've been to one, they're all pretty much the exact same. Like, I don't need to be in the crowd to watch a parade route. I'll just see whatever fun highlights get posted or watch live streams. And then for the rallies, those things are live streamed, man. I don't need to be in a throng of people to get the same vibe. So, and that's just personal opinion. I do not hate on anyone who's like, no, I got to go every time. No, you do you. It's just a me thing. Because I'm also not a big crowds guy.
The thing about, I think, this one is that if you went to the parade last year, or last time, then you're probably going back. And if you didn't go to the parade for some reason, you are going now because you want to catch this one. So that's why I think there is going to be even more people at this parade than 2022. That would be my guess.
That's fair. I can see that.
That would be my guess.
I can see that.
I would be there, except we had some unfortunate situations happen at the household, and I was not available to head there. But there's Big Red with Clark Hunt, and they've got the Lombardi Trail. See, here's the thing that, and it is not even a question. NHL has it right. In the NHL, when they win the conference trophy, you don't even touch the thing because that's not the one you want. You just leave it there. It never leaves the table.
Also, for someone that believes it's a curse, if you touch the conference trophy, then you don't win the Stanley Cup. Then
when you win the cup, they don't bring out the owner. They don't bring out the coach. They don't bring out anything. It goes right to the captain. And then the captain takes the cup and he skates around the ice a couple times and gets his moment. And then the captain chooses who gets to touch it next. Because the only time you touch the cup is if you win the cup.
Yeah.
And then after the second person gets to go around, then you get to pass somebody else. And that's the reason why this beginning part of the rally is going to be so lame. How about those Chiefs? Yeah, I don't care about you, man. Like, the only people that should be in the parade are literally if you are involved with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Nobody else should be involved in the parade.
I've always believed that.
But Harrison Butker and Tommy Townsend on top of one of the buses. Tommy Townsend chugging a beer. So
that's my guy.
It will be Tommy Townsend and his gigantic flow rocking the old school Chief starter jacket. That's fantastic. But like that's the reason why. If they did it hockey style, Mahomes takes the Lombardi trophy first.
Mm.
Who does he hand it to?
Well, he's going to Trav.
Okay. I'm all right with that, with the week he had, beating his brother. Okay. Who does Trav hand it to then?
Going within the context of the game. Man, I feel like Trav might go offensive line. I think he might give it to the big boys.
I think, and then all the
because he consider he doesn't consider himself like he knows he's a level of that group of blocking scheme, but he knows what those big guys got to do. So then you go to the big guys, and they all just kind of have a moment with each other. Then after that, I think he just starts going down the line.
Yeah, I think it
in no specific order.
I think he goes the offensive line, and then I think the offensive line, ends up going to the defensive
line. Now I
can
also see Trav wanting to give it to one of the rookies. He loves those kids.
Yeah, I don't think you can give it to a rookie that quick. No,
just saying.
No, you can't. I think you got to give it to one of the big boys up front.
I don't disagree.
I think you do.
I don't disagree.
And then they whittle it on down, and then.
Yeah.
But like that's what it should happen. That's what it should happen.
The biggest thing, the biggest thing for me is I get owners of teams have a purpose to a level. They sign the checks. They kind of, they keep the lights on. But our thought process of like, oh, the first guys we got to hear speak are the owners. And then we'll go talk to the GMs. It's like, I get some level to it, but they aren't the ones that pulled the weight.
No.
Like, yes. Now, in the Chiefs situation, Clark Hunt, I love you. Like, whatever, man.
He's
Clark
a good
Hunt,
enoner. He's a
good owner.
He's a good
but
owner.
He's a good owner because he doesn't do anything. Like, he shows, I've said it many times, he shows up 4 times a year. And that's how I think every owner should be. Like, the less you see of your owner, the better. Because that means your organization is running right. Like,
Correct.
The fact that Jerry Jones has to have his own weekly talk show in Dallas is hilariously bad.
Not only that, he has a press conference after every game. He speaks outside the locker room.
Yeah, that's stupid. Like, your owner shouldn't do that. They shouldn't. Like, go sit. Like, I make it a joke. Like, truly, I want Clark Hunt to just be chilling in Dallas with his oil money and never come up.
Well, he can come up for the game.
Well, he come up for the important stuff.
Yeah.
I'm cool with him coming up for his one preseason interview he does during the game with the Chiefs crew. I'm cool with his like 1 or 2 pre and postseason conferences and whatever. But no, I think we do need to alter, and this is for every sport but hockey, because NBA has this exact same problem.
Yes.
Players get trophy first.
So do Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Players need that
hunk of metal. This is what I was told from the commissioner. They gave the hunk of metal to David Glass first. Man,
no,
give that thing to Salvador Perez first.
The players should get to celebrate first and foremost, and then we can give it to the rich guys. And I know in this story, rich guys is very, very subjective and comparative because they're all rich. But y'all know what I mean.
Yes.
Like, give it to the players who are the ones that had to bear the brunt of the load, who put in the labor to get it done. After they're done partying, you know what? Then your owners can touch the thing. Because for the most part, you don't do anything. You fund the bankroll, and you tell everybody else to go do it. Like, Brett Veach did some great stuff in creating this Chiefs team. He should have been one of the last ones to touch the trophy. Because sure, you got the talent together. They had to do it, though. Like, they had to perform on the field and do those things. So, no, I really don't like that.
That's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, no, I'm fully with you. It irks me that the owners and top executives get the first brush of the championship light. Because for the most part, they aren't the ones that I think deserve it the most.
The offensive line. Do
they all have the same shirt?
They all have it's a white shirt.
Yes!
It's just a plain white shirt, and it just has a big 0, and then underneath the 0 it says sacks. And Creed Humphrey's wearing one. Trey Smith is wearing one. Everyone is.
I'm so happy right now.
A white shirt that says 0 and then sacks underneath.
They are the best.
It's fantastic.
I love this offensive line.
They've got the buses labeled so people can see it when they come on by. But that's really, really cool. I mean, it really, really is.
Shout out Patrick Mahomes rocking, not only carrying his Super Bowl MVP football trophy with him at the parade, also still sporting the World Heavyweight Championship belt around his waist. Truly my king. Truly the best. All these guys are awesome. No, when I saw Creed tweet out that he had a 0 sack shirt on, I needed them all to have it. That only works best if all of you are wearing it. It's amazing.
It really is.
It's super fun.
The amount of confetti that is going to have to last here.
Oh yeah. They got budgets.
Is incredible. I wonder what it costs to put on a parade. What do you suppose it costs to put on?
Very expensive.
You think?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got. I don't know. Does it cost money to shut the streets down? I mean, Technically,
you're
city owns
disrupting
the
you're disrupting commerce because anything that could exist upon that route is now being interrupted.
Or are you like making money because the amount of people that are going to be spending money down there?
That would be a cost evaluation that you would make, is what money do you lose in the disruption of commerce versus the amount of money flow you might gain from the increase of people. There's
Pat
that
Mahomes
level. There's the level
on
of the buses you have to do, the security personnel.
Hold on. Pat Mahomes is now on the ground walking around, and he has got, I believe, bodyguards around him.
Of course he does.
See, I feel...
Got to protect the king.
Well, I feel like people know who he is and be like, I think if somebody ran up on Mahomes, you'd have to be worried about other fans, like, protecting Mahomes. Like, what are you doing to QB1? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the one guy that I think, like he's at that level right now where, oh, he didn't do it, I did it. It was me. I was the one. I'm the, or, he's got police walking around him, got a Coors Light in his hand. Like that to me, you wouldn't have to worry about people going up on Patrick Mahomes, because are you kidding me? If I saw somebody mess with Patrick Mahomes, I'm going full steam ahead, no questions asked. Like,
Jake doesn't usually throw hands.
For
Pat,
for QB1,
Jake will throw hands.
I'm
glad we found a line for you.
Yes, of course. My friends, did they deserve it? Patrick Mahomes, don't care, my man.
Yeah.
Do not care. I got you.
Yeah. So, point stands, parades are expensive. Not cheap.
The D-line, very much more cerebral with the cigars and such, it looks like.
Their message is getting across.
They're more relaxed. And that's not a surprise. O linemen pounding beers.
Yep.
D linemen sipping on sip drinks instead of chug drinks.
O linemen being very aggressive, brash with their energy and partying. D line just vibing.
Yes.
This tracks.
That's basically what it comes down to.
Like Chris and the boys, they're just vibing, man.
It really, really does. That's fantastic. Yeah. We got a lot to get to. We'll get to a little Big 12 hoops. Everyone loves the list. We'll get to the parade rally at the end, starting at 1:45. All of that coming up here on this edition of Mic'd Up. young wide receivers are now out amongst the people, it looks like. You've got Sky Moore and MVS. It looks like they're just walking around, high five people. Like, to me, that's the way to do it. For a little bit of the parade route, high five the fans.
Yeah.
You're down there on the street, probably carrying around a beer or two, that type of thing. But I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
And then when you're tired, hop back on the bus.
Yeah,
walk a little, ride a little bit. Like, I mean, there's got to be like 7 or 8 of them. They're just going back and forth from one side of the crowd to the other. Just
those buses moving slow enough, you can hop off pretty easily.
Right? Like, I think that's the way to do it,
Listen, if I was
Get
ever
amongst them.
if I was ever talented enough to be part of a victory parade, I would spend a good chunk of it walking with the people. And truly, though, when my legs got tired, like, I'm going to the bus.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be, because like a lot of those guys stand while they're on the bus and wave to the people.
Yeah.
If I'm doing that already, I'm getting with the folks. And then, again, when I'm tired, I just hop back on the bus and just go sit down and vibe.
Yeah, so that's kind of what the
also, when I've had more
aspect
than a few
is.
beverages, I can tend to want to be a little more active.
Travis Kelce in an old school. Are the starter jackets coming back?
I think.
You know what I'm talking about, the old polo. By the way, those things were the warmest thing of all time.
Yeah. And I'm not into the fashion game enough to know if they're back.
I think they are. I mean, Tommy Townsend's got one. Travis Kelce's got one. But those things were so warm, you pulled them over the top. I had 2 because I outgrew one of them. My football team was called the Salina Cowboys. So I had a Cowboys one. And then I got a Chiefs one when I was a little bit older. But we'll get a quick timeout coming up. We'll get to a little Big 12 hoops, and we'll talk more of Everybody Loves a Parade. More players. Chris Jones and the D-line now getting amongst the people. See, this is what the best part about the parade is. Kudos to the players to realize that walking and high-fiving everybody, especially if you are one of the main cats out there, that's exactly what this is. That's really, really cool. It really, really is. I do have to ask this. We did not get to we didn't get to talk about this yesterday because it happened after we got off the air.
Mm-hmm.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Hilarious. Comedy.
Juju
At its highest
Smith-Schuster
level.
tweeted out with the NFL started out, with these like
the little Valentine's Day
memes.
player joke memes. Yeah, the thing that's been happening for several years.
Well, Juju Smith-Schuster, and I think actually he might know how to Photoshop because he's that online.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Well, he Photoshopped James Bradbury onto one of them, and then it said, "I will hold you at the most important times." Now,
it's still funny.
It's hilarious.
Oh, it's objectively funny.
It's hilarious. But there is a part of me that says this is very Eli Apple-ish. The only difference between what Eli Apple did and what Juju Smith-Schuster did is win. The difference is there's no other games. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the game. And to the victor go the spoils.
Yeah.
And I understand that. You know me. I am very pro trash talk.
Yeah.
I am. I probably wouldn't. I'm not a huge trash talker after the fact, like a day later, and call somebody out singularly.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't mind it. You do what you want to do because you did win. You did win. But if you are one of those people who are blasting Eli Apple for trash talking, then at least you have to have the wherewithal to understand There's not much difference except for the Chiefs were able to clap back at Eli Apple because they beat Eli Apple.
Yeah.
And AJ Brown defending his teammate, which if I were any Eagles player,
that's what you do.
Either I would do that or I just would not be on social media at this point in time.
Yeah.
But he basically said, he called him TikTok boy, which that was hilarious.
Oh, that was AJ Brown's clapback was hilarious.
It was very good.
He called him TikTok boy. Said Mahomes resurrected his career.
Yeah, said Mahomes resurrected.
Since you were on your way out the league. Great.
I don't have a problem with it, with what Juju did.
No.
I would not have done that if I were in his shoes. Yeah. I wouldn't. I would have gone about it a different way.
Yeah.
But man, that's
hilarious.
It's funny.
Yes.
But it's also dang, that's cold.
Yes. No. That's part of why it's funny.
That is
no.
Like, I saw that and I just went, dang.
Yeah. No, I did too. I was like, oh boy, like it's funny to me. It's funny.
Do you think there are more people who are actually defending Bradbury than I realized?
Yeah.
You know, I think it's more of a mixture of, hey man, you know, kicking a guy while he's down,
Jake,
versus you know what I'm saying?
Like, no, I get you. And like, of course there are, like, Jake, there was a guy who tweeted out today that he thinks Juju's career is over because of this and that no one's going to sign him, which was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, no, that's a loser behavior. And if you don't, this is my general PSA. Remember, kids, you don't have to tell people how stupid you are on the internet. You could just hide it. But no, like, there are people that are going to defend Bradbury and be on the side of AJ Brown and think, man, you know, that's classless, which get out of here with that crap. But also, like, there's so many people, and I think it's waning in the amount of people that believe this, but it's still a decent chunk, who don't like how buddy everyone is. Like, oh, you know, man, the 90s and the 80s, these guys hated each other, you know. It was real hate. Yeah. Now you guys, all these dudes, you know.
Bird and Magic hated each other until after their career.
And then it's like, you know, while you're playing, you should hate everybody. Like, all these guys on different teams are buddy. It's like, y'all out here crying for these guys to act like they hate each other. And when we get that, when we get some actual, like, shots fired, we're coming at you. It's like, oh, well, that's class. That's too far. No, it's not. Like, I get some level of the Eli Apple comparison. You know, the problem is Eli Apple's never been a good football player. Like, this is always my stance. You want to trash talk? Be my guest. But if you're going to trash talk and you can't back it up or you ain't got nothing to back it up, then be prepared for someone to make a lot of fun of you. And that's why with Eli Apple, like, I'm fine that all the trash Eli Apple talked. It was all very stupid. But the reason I call it stupid is not because he was trash talking in general, it's because it's coming out of your mouth. Like, that's the problem. And honestly, I get AJ Brown's point on why Juju shouldn't be talking. I get AJ, like, he's not wrong. Juju, your career was dead in the water until Mahomes came in. Also, TikTok boy, the best insult I've heard in quite a while. Like, that was awesome. And then CJ Gardner Johnson getting involved.
I didn't see that.
No, CJ Gardner Johnson got involved, saying that Juju didn't want the smoke, and then he ran for him all game. And then Isaiah Pacheco took a stray. Like, Isaiah Pacheco took a stray because CJ said it. Then 10 got lit up, which not really. Like,
oh yeah,
I know what hit he's talking about.
He got
popped. I know what hit CJ's talking that he did. It wasn't really a light up. Yeah, Pop got lit up by somebody. I don't think it was CJ.
No, I don't know. I just know that
it might have been. But Pop did get lit up. I watched that hit live when it did knock the wind out of him. Like, no, he got lit up. But, like, also, Pacheco taking a stray, that was hilarious. But, like, this stuff, like, I'm not saying all these guys shouldn't be friends. It is completely fine for these dudes to be friends off the field. That's totally okay. But also, this is I have said this time and again across sports. Athletes should be allowed to show personality.
Correct.
Stop making them robots. I yell at baseball for the most about this, but it applies to all sports. It's why I think taunting penalties are the stupidest thing in the world. Like, let these guys express themselves. And if one of the ways they do it is they start jawing at each other, that's their own prerogative.
There's a line. I don't think Juju.
And I don't think any line was crossed. Because my personal line is don't talk about family.
Yes.
That's my main personal line. You don't talk about family. What did Juju do? He made fun of a call on Bradbury. That's all he did. That is not crossing a line in the slightest.
The way it was done
was hilarious.
Was
a little egregious.
No, I'm talking about how I'll hold you.
Yes, I agree.
And it's Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Like that to me,
it was all time.
Oh,
it was an old timer.
Goodness.
And to point out, like, AJ Brown's response also was fantastic. Like, call out.
You're going to defend your boy.
That's why defend your boy. Yeah. Also, again, he didn't say anything that was wrong in anything AJ Brown said. Like,
no.
Let these guys express themselves as long as no one's crossing a line, which the big line is don't bring family into this. There's just, natural lines we don't cross. But if we keep it to just critiques about the game, like everyone's critiques in this little Eagles, Chiefs, mainly Juju fight he started, I'll give him all credit. It's all stayed contained to the game of football. We want to do that. Y'all go.
Yep.
Just go off. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I hate the classless stuff, man. These guys aren't robots. Let them show emotion. And some of these guys, the way they show their personality is they like to talk a little smack. There's guys that do that. And that's okay. Like, it is okay that Eli Apple is obsessed with running his mouth. He just needs to stop doing it because he ain't good enough to do it. But then again, what did the Chiefs do? They were like, all right. And then we just beat you on the field and made fun of you afterwards. Now, if Juju wants to come crying to somebody, then we got a problem. Because you and I also have the same policy. If you're going to dish it out, you got to take it.
Yep.
But, nothing wrong with it. It was very funny.
Orlando Brown wearing what looks like to be Uggs. Those have to be one of the biggest pairs of Uggs.
Size 30.
Maybe ever. But the players now getting closer towards Union Station. But, yeah, all of them are now down, high-fiving the fans. There is no joke. Patrick Mahomes back off the bus, high-fiving fans, walking back and forth. No joke. There is about 15 people around Patrick Mahomes, all taking video and taking photos. And he's got it's the cool thing to do now to wear your sunglass or your ski goggles, ski glasses to the side. I feel like that's always been the thing.
We're again getting into things I don't know nothing about.
Because every one of them.
Would you know how many instances in my life I've worn ski goggles?
3.
Lower.
0.
Correct.
Okay. But now Mahomes has he's letting some people touch the trophy, which is really, really cool. But I'm telling you, all these people hovering around him, protecting him, you don't have to protect him. Because all of Kansas City would fight the person that would try to do something like that. I'm telling you.
I think you are missing it. It is not even just a love like somebody running up on him to physically hurt him. It is like people just want to be around him.
Yeah,
that man could get swallowed into a crowd in half a second, and no one's trying to hurt him. It's just everybody wants to be around Pat.
They just want to hug him.
It's not about physical violence. It's just that man's so popular, he'll get wrapped into a crowd of humans. So yeah, people around just to keep him from being lost in a crowd.
But
also, people are also crazy no matter what.
Yeah, they are nuts. They are nuts.
Psychopaths.
But yeah, this is fantastic for the fans, and hopefully you picked the good spot where the players got off the bus and got to interact and mingle a little bit with the crowd, taking photos and all that kind of stuff. The people who are wanting autographs, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's probably not going to happen today. The autograph aspect of it. Yeah. They're just moving up and down and having a grand old time. So, from the Big O Tires text line, watching the parade, disappointed to see the owners with their wives and kids right up at the front of the bus. Now I don't mind. Those guys need to be in the parade. The owners and the coaches and all that, but the cheerleaders, the drummers and all that, they need to be in the parade, no question. It doesn't matter if they're in the front or the back.
Yeah.
I mean,
order of progression in the parade doesn't matter.
They're all going down the middle of it anyway.
Yeah, like, they're all going to end up at the same spot. And then also, like, as we've noted, that all gets washed out when the guys start hopping off the bus.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them start getting ahead of every bus. But more importantly, it's just that doesn't matter. Like, the only time it matters, like, our entire conversation is based on the idea of, like, when it comes to the immediate aftermath and presenting the trophy, we need to be presenting trophies to players first. If during parade routes, I don't care how parade routes are designed for who's there, because you're going to get to everybody eventually. Like, if you stay in the same spot, you will eventually see your favorite player. At some point, you will see them pass you.
Correct.
Like, so what? I have to watch Clark Hunt's bus go by first. Who cares? Then I just wave at him, say, get out of here, and then I start enjoying the rest of them that come by. You know, that's a little different. A little different.
There were people setting up at 6 a.m. for the parade.
Kansas City's crazy.
That
y'all crazy.
And fans are and the amount of people right now at Union Station are this parade crowd is going to dwarf 2019 season, but you know,
2020,
February 2020.
Yeah.
Here's the only hope, that there's no global pandemic after this. Because
last time we did this, things didn't go so well afterwards.
The Chiefs had decided to start apparently a global pandemic.
Good job, guys. That did happen. It happened the last time this came around.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's not the case.
We can hope. We can hope.
We will get to Everyone Loves the List. We're going to talk with Kellis Robinett, get his thoughts on parades, as well as some K-State football. We'll finish things off in this noon hour coming up next. Rocking the what looks like the Patrick Mahomes Oakley glasses, which is fantastic. and his 0 sacks t-shirt. It also looks as though Creed Humphrey drinking, I believe, like a Limerita, which that tracks for an O-lineman, man. It really, really does. I can't stress this enough. If you have the chance to party with an offensive lineman, that is the group you need to, because of two things. One, they care the least. They don't care about image. They know they're big. They're not trying to, put up a front or anything like that. They laugh the most, and they will they're down for whatever. Like, that's the reason why offensive linemen are the best when it comes to hanging out with everybody. And right now, Patrick Mahomes is an honorary offensive lineman. He still has the belt on, by the way.
Yeah, it's awesome.
When was the last time he took the belt off?
I hope never. I hope he put it on after the game. Well, okay, he didn't have it on. He was just wearing it on the bus back after the win. There's a great shot of him rocking with Lombardi and the belt over his shoulder. But no, I wear that baby a week. Wear it to bed, wear when we wake up, wear it around the house.
See, the old linemen right now are taking over the video feed of KSHB, and that's the reason why you want to party with old linemen.
Yeah, because they're the best.
Orlando Brown wearing a orca hat. It's got an orca on it. And wearing a fur coat. Like, I'm telling you, like, these are the guys you need to go with. There's nothing better than hanging out with the offensive lineman group.
Oh, there's nothing better. They are the best.
The rally will be fun. It's supposed to start here in about an hour. We will air that for you. And if for some reason either myself or Fulton start talking during the rally, it's because somebody swore and we have to talk so that way our delay gets built back up so we don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
You will
get a little creative.
You can hear everything on the stream.
Yeah, for those of you listening on the stream today and watching on the stream today, during parade time, you might hear some interesting things if it happens. Yeah. We don't have a way to delay that. And we also don't get in trouble for that.
Yeah, so we don't really care about that.
The internet is truly the wild, wild west. So if you're listening over the AM feed, FM feed, we got you. Internet, you were at the mercy of Chiefs players drunk on a live mic. Which for some of you love the sound of that.
Yes.
Like for some of you, you're very excited we've now told you that.
Who do you want to hear outside of Mahomes and Kelsey? Who do you want to hear speak?
I need at least one of the big boys. Honestly, give me Andrew Wiley. After his performance, Andrew Wiley should get a chance on the mic.
I've heard Andrew,
after what he did, give him a chance on the mic.
Do you know what they called the spinning formation?
I did learn. Dan told me this. Andrew Wiley being a Pokemon collector. It was Pikachu formation.
And you want to know what the play was called?
Just got to catch them all.
Got to catch them all.
I am mad. I am so mad that we were deprived of that.
I feel like you and Brendan need to become big Andrew Wiley fans.
Oh, Andrew Wiley's already my new favorite football player.
Because
Andrew Wiley and Jamal Williams are my dudes.
You guys like Pokemon?
Yes.
I still see Brendan trying to catch them all.
Yes. Because you have to catch them all, and there's a lot.
But I've also been told you cannot catch them all.
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible because they don't all exist in one singular place.
Means
so it takes a lot of work.
You guys aren't trying hard enough to find them all. Then
it's more complicated than that.
You got to drive to find them, man.
That's not exactly how it works.
You just basically told me that's how it works. Not all of them are in the same area. You got to go and you got to travel.
Some of the places you got to go to are really hard.
Well,
finance me a trip to Australia and I can catch a Kangaskhan.
That's where they're only at?
I believe Kangaskhan's actually do, or at least for Pokemon Go.
Genghis Khan?
Kangaskhan.
Okay.
I believe they are only found in the Pokemon Go app that you can play on your phone that Brennan and I play a lot. I believe those can only be found in Australia. I'm not confident.
You guys never responded in our group text when I sent that video of the
guy. I
guy.
meant to. I've seen like 5 times before. I love that video.
So the video is a guy who renames the Pokemon because he doesn't know their real name, so he just calls them what they look like.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite videos from a YouTube channel I watch.
It's hysterical.
Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, it's great. Some of those names he calls them we can't say.
No.
Because he uses some words we can't use. But
some
of them we could say.
And the people who are super into it are super mad that he's not calling them by the right way.
Yeah. But yeah, for Pokemon Go, like they're found in certain, like, you know, most water Pokemon can only be found like in bodies of water, which difficult to sometimes track the right body of water.
Go find a boat, man.
It's not that simple.
I want to hear Frank Clark.
See, here I only have one reason why I kind of hope he doesn't. Because I'm going to get a workout on this profanity.
No, that's all right. You can deal with that.
I'm going to get a workout on that.
No, you really don't, because you can only press it one time and then it dumps out, and then we got to wait about a minute before it builds back up again.
That's fair.
So,
that's actually a fair point.
Reason why I want Frank Clark is because I don't think he's going to be back.
That's fair. It would be nice to hear from Frank.
Coming up next, we're going to talk a little Big 12 hoops. Two here on a parade edition of Mic'd Up. Thank you so much for joining us. Jake and Fulton Caster with you as the Kansas City Chiefs parade rolls on in downtown Kansas City. And my goodness, the amount of people who are at this parade, it's more than the last time. Seeing footage and seeing video, I cannot wait for that above aerial drone photo of Union Station when everyone is going to be there. That is going to be a fantastic image with how many people are at the parade in Kansas City. We will go to the rally and we will broadcast that starting at 1:45 until it is completed. Normally it takes about 45 minutes, so we'll finish up afterwards. But all of the players getting off their bus, walking around, taking photos, taking pictures, having a good time, tossing beers to people, all sorts of fantastic memories. That's what's going on right now. we will get to Everyone Loves the List, which is the best parts of parades and your favorite parades. And that's where we'll go to first. We will talk a little bit of hoops, but Kellis Robinett of the Wichita Eagle and the Kansas City Star joining us. We always talk a little K-State athletics on Wednesdays. But first, Kellis, I have to ask you, have you attended one of the, and maybe you're there, maybe you are in Kansas City right now. I don't know, maybe. But did you go to the Royals parade? Did you go to the Chiefs parade 3 years ago? Have you gone to one of these things?
Man, no, I haven't. I wish I had. I'm in Wichita right now, actually driving home from the Oklahoma game last night. So my kids expressed some interest in, me taking them out of school and going. What kid wouldn't love that? But it just seems like a lot of effort for something I could just watch on TV or listen to on the radio. So not the biggest parade guy. I did get sent to Lawrence last year to cover the KU team when they came back and had a mini celebration after they won the national title because everybody else in our newsroom was in New Orleans. So I got to experience that, but that's about as close as I've come lately.
All righty. Yeah, Fulton is he went to the Royals parade, so he has done the parade.
But Kellis, you get me in. You could just also watch all this stuff on TV and at home, and it's probably a little bit too much of a hassle to actually probably go there. You and I are on the same page there.
I mean, I like a good parade. I went to the Thanksgiving one in New York one time. I was just there randomly. It was amazing. I loved it. And to imagine, instead of watching just celebrities I don't really know go down the street, see Patrick Mahomes and everything, it'd be pretty cool. So maybe after they win one of their next 5 Super Bowls, I'll make it.
I'll tell you, I would be there, but we unfortunately had an unfortunate situation at our daycare, and so kids are at home right now, so had to stay and watch the kids before I came to work. Otherwise, I would be. It was a blast 3 years ago. I had an absolute great time. It's a little bit warmer even this time around because it was crazy cold last year. It really was. But I had to ask you about the parade and everything. Let's get to a little K-State hoops. What's the biggest issue right now? They're on a bit of a downturn.
Yeah, you could point at a few different areas. The main thing I would point to is just that the streak they got off to at the start of conference play just wasn't really sustainable. Scoring 116 points at Texas, 97 at Baylor. Yeah, it looked fantastic. It looked amazing. All these shots going in left and right, but you're just not going to shoot that way every single game. And other teams saw that and said, you know what, Deontay Johnson and Marquise Newell, lit them up. We're not going to let them do the same thing to us. And now a lot of the open threes that they saw early on in conference play, they're not there anymore. Teams have really come out and said, if you're going to beat us, it's going to be with somebody other than Johnson and Nowell. And people really haven't been able to step up. Last night they came kind of close. Naquan Tomlin scoring 17 points, but Cam Carter goes 0 for. David Gasson, he was sick, only played 2 minutes. He goes 0 for.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at 2 guys in the starting lineup combined for 0 points. Hard to win a game when that happens. I went back and looked. Kansas State's offensive efficiency, if you look at just their first 21 games on the analytical side, they're ranked in the top 25 nationally in scoring and how they went about doing it. If you look at the 5 games since then, they've dipped to 170th. So a huge gap there. They're not making threes anymore. 2-pointers are hard to come by. And they're turning the ball over more than they did too. So all those things combined also add on the team, see that they're ranked and they got a target on their back right now. You can kind of understand why they're not winning at the same rate they once were.
Do you feel like this is kind of like the dog days of hoops, the middle of February, and then of course at the end of February, beginning of March, people get more amped up, end of the season. Then you've got Big 12 tournament, and then people get that extra jolt of energy. But this is the toughest part of the season for me for hoopers.
I think you're right, definitely. The motivation, isn't quite as high as it was in the start of conference play. It's not nearly as high as it's going to be when you get to the March and the tournament. So getting through this grind is definitely a challenge, and that's one thing Marquise Noel has said yesterday, is that maybe this just hasn't, been as fun for the guys lately. We got to get back to doing that. I will say, though, that it's not unique for just Kansas State to be going through troubles right now. If you look across the country, there are plenty of teams who have fallen on hard times this season. KU had a losing streak. Auburn had lost 4 straight games until they rebounded and waxed Mizzou last night. Kentucky's been up and down. North Carolina's been up and down. Even in the Big 12, I think if you look across the conference standing, there are lots of teams who lost 3 straight games. Baylor did it, and now they're back in a pretty good spot. So it's not necessarily like people have to be hitting the panic button right now. Yes, there are issues with the team, but if they can solve them, they can bounce back like a lot of the other teams.
When it comes to Keontae Johnson, I saw this, and I don't remember who put this out. He hasn't played a full basketball season in 2 years. Do you think this is a wall that Keontae Johnson is hitting?
I do. I really do. Him more so than really anybody. Naquan Tomlin hit a bit of a wall earlier this season. I think he's kind of broken through that. Marquise Noel, as crazy as it sounds, I think he's hit a wall just because, there for a while he was averaging 25 and 10 almost in conference play, and you just can't keep that going with that target on your back. So he's got to figure out how to play through that. I think Jerome Tang is hit a bit of a wall as a coach, if that makes sense. Just him being a first year guy, it's hard for him to step in and know everything to do. His first go around through the Big 12 as a head coach. But I'll circle back to the original statement. Yes, I do think Keontae Johnson hit a wall. I think that he put a lot into the first part of the season, and he put a whole lot into that Florida game when the Gators came here. That was the last time I thought he really looked good. And he really, really celebrated after that game. I mean, I'm not talking like he went Travis Kelce or anything and partied long into the night, but he was taking pictures with everybody on the floor. His family was there. His friends at Florida were there. I think in some ways he kind of looked at that as, his Super Bowl, and he's let down a little bit since then. And it used to be that whenever Kansas State was in trouble on a possession, get the ball to him on the wing, the corner, wherever, and he'd just go get a bucket. Lately, that's really not been it. He's been in foul trouble. Last night, he seemed like, passive, really didn't even want to attack the basket, kind of overcorrect and not get in foul trouble. It's just kind of been a weird thing for him these last couple of weeks. And yes, I definitely think that all those things combined, he's had some emotional games. He's had to talk on and on and on about, how he's just this inspiring story. He hasn't played in 2 years. I think add it all up, and yes, he's got to work through some things.
Kellis Robinett of the Wichita Eagle joining us. Follow him on Twitter at Kellis Robinett. What was the worst loss, Texas Tech or Oklahoma?
I think Oklahoma. I mean, that's a team that hadn't won a Big 12 game since January 14th, exactly a month ago. They did beat Alabama on their home floor. And Alabama's ranked number 1, so they're not hapless or anything like that. They're capable of playing good games. But other teams in this conference had them figured out. They haven't done much on offense. They haven't done much on defense, but they did a lot of both last night against Kansas State. So to go in there and not only lose, but to have a lead late in the first half, give up kind of a ridiculous 3 right at halftime, and then just get blown away in the second half. I think that's the worst one they've had. Texas Tech, they're playing a little bit better. They beat Iowa State at home. They beat Texas at home. And they've got a nice crowd behind them. I can see how teams could go into Lubbock and lose, but there was nobody there in Norman last night. I'm not even kidding you. There were less than 20 students at the place. There were times where they were showing K-State fans on the Jumbotron just they didn't have anybody else to show. So to go into just a dead arena like that and get beat by double digits, not great.
Alrighty. Is there a game that you go, yeah, they can bounce back off this, and they take on Baylor coming up on Tuesday, and then at Oklahoma State on Saturday the 25th? Or beg your pardon, they take on Iowa State this Saturday, then Baylor on Tuesday. Is Iowa State a team that because they don't score it that great, that they can bounce this because it's at home? Baylor's playing outrageous right now. I don't know if that's going to happen. So I feel like this Iowa State game is the game they need.
I totally. If they want to get some momentum back going, and be in contention for a top 4 seed or something like that in the NCAA tournament, they definitely need to win this game. Big 12 teams have made their living playing at home this season. Kansas State, even with some of the recent troubles, they've only lost once at home all year, and that was with just a total second half meltdown against Texas. Iowa State doesn't score that much, like you said, unless it's one of those rare games when Caleb Grill just comes out and lights it up from 3. They don't have many outside threats. They're not a great road team. They've lost several in a row on the road. They've made their living at home, just like I've been talking about Kansas State needs to do in Bramlage. So I would not sit back and count on beating Baylor. I would not sit back and count on winning on the road at Oklahoma State. I think their most winnable of those next 3 is Iowa State at home this Saturday. And, there's no such thing as a must win until you get to the postseason, but this is a very big game, and they could use a W.
Alrighty, last two for the road for you, Kellis. How many more wins guarantees them a spot in the NCAA tournament? Do you agree with Jerome Tang where he said we need 2 more?
I mean that's a good number. I think they could probably lose out and still get in. Maybe you're in Dayton or something like that at that point. And nobody wants to think about that, losing that many games, but they've already got 7 wins in the Big 12. They've already beat Kansas. They've already beat Texas. They've already beat Baylor. I mean, they've got a lot of good stuff on their resume. Maybe they need 1 or 2 more. I probably agree with the coach there. If they get to 20, I would think they're a lock. But from where they were preseason, not preseason, but a few weeks ago when you're talking about maybe getting a 1 seed or something like that, you don't want to slip back down to middle of the bubble. So I don't know that that's really much of a concern for them. But if you want to be considered a lock, 2 more wins sounds pretty.
Alrighty, and finally, Kellis, if you were involved in the parade, what would be your game plan if you were a Chiefs player in the parade?
Ooh, Chiefs player. So I'm out there, people cheering for me.
Yeah. Are you gonna walk? Are you staying on the bus? Are you dancing? I saw Isaiah Pacheco just start dancing left and right. Has some actually pretty good dance moves, rocking a Rutgers hoodie. So what are you doing? What's your game plan if you were one of the Chiefs players?
Yeah, tough call. I could see it being a lot of fun to be on the bus with the unlimited Coors Light flowing and just waving at people. I could see it being pretty cool to be out amongst the fans dancing and giving high fives. I'd probably go for the latter there. Just walk out for the love a little bit more, give everybody high fives, throw out some candy or something like that. That's what the crowd seems to like.
Kels, we appreciate the time. You get a home game coming up against Iowa State. Enjoy Farmageddon 2.0.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I love not leaving town for games.
That is Kellis Robinett of the Wichita Eagle and the Kansas City Star. They're throwing footballs around. Like, this is a fun situation. It really is. We'll get a timeout. Coming up next, everyone loves the list. By the way, I forgot to mention, Travis Kelce's mom is on the bus with Travis Kelce.
Donna's part with Trav.
That is awesome.
It's beautiful.
That is so cool. It really, really is. Coming up next, everyone loves the list, parade edition. And then we'll go to the rally coming up at 1:45. All right, everyone loves the list. We're going to go with the top parades, or you can include things that are your favorite about parades, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I'm cool with a little mix and match. Number 4 for me, this applies to all parades. This is just thing about parades. You just need a good spot in the parade. Wherever you like to be along the parade route, you need kind of a good spot. You know, it's entirely personal at that point, so it's a bit lower. But, like, you need to find a good little spot to camp out in. No one wants to go to a parade and be, like, 8 rows deep in, like, the middle section. Got to hunt for a good spot.
The best parade that's yearly is the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
St. Patty's Day parades are pretty cool.
That's number 4 for me. And if you are involved in it and you're walking in the parade, just give out all the candy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the more candy you have, the better. And I always like to do it, because it used to be, the parade used to be, not, on the Fridays. Now it kind of rotates. I haven't been able to do the parade. You got to throw a bunch of candy into the back.
Yeah.
Like, throw it deep. Don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. St. Patty's Day Parade, the best yearly parade.
Yeah. I would 100% hard agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me, the most important factor to me when planning and needing to execute any parade. You got to have good parade weather. You got to have good parade. It's hard for you to control that, but you need good parade weather. You can't have it, inclement. You can't have it way too hot. You can't have it too cold.
The only time that it doesn't matter is like today. If it's a victory parade, then it doesn't matter. Then it doesn't matter. It's cold in Kansas City right now.
It's chilly. It's a bit chilly.
I don't even know if it got to 40 degrees right now.
It's a bit chilly.
So that's a good call. Good call.
Yeah. You guys some decent weather.
Number 3 for me, if you're going to go, make sure that you don't run out onto the parade.
Yeah, stay out of the parade route.
Don't
be one of those people.
Have some type of decorum, if you will.
No, I agree. I'd agree with that.
That is what I would suggest.
Number 2 for me. Now we're going to start getting into types of parades that I would actually maybe be willing to go to. Number 2 for me, it's the St. Patty's Day Parade. If I'm going to go to a holiday-based parade, the one you can get me to go to is the St. Patrick's Day parade.
The Topeka St. Patty's Parade is a good parade.
Maybe I'll go to it this year.
But it always coincides with high school basketball.
Maybe I won't go to it this year.
So
because we're very busy when that happens.
That's the problem with that.
Yeah,
it
that
seems like
does
it
sting.
always is in that situation.
Man, you're right. That does probably usually line up pretty well.
I don't know when the Topeka.
Yeah, when's it lining up? I mean, I assume it'll be around March 17th. Best part is also St. Patrick's Day is a Friday this year. Let's party. There's not a lot of days that Fulton cuts loose anymore. You put St. Patty's on a Friday. I'm not making plans for Saturday.
I can understand.
I'm making
that.
0.
St. Patty's on a Friday, huh?
And no one better ask me to do anything on March 18th. I will be at home.
That's the first round of the NCAA tournament, I believe.
I will. Oh, yes. No, let's go. If it is, let's go.
Hold on. Yeah, because the Big 12 tournament is the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. So then the very next week, yeah. Yeah, see, in this situation, that's 2022. So I wonder if it'll be on the 18th or the 11th for the St. Patty's Day parade. I don't know.
What's
Yeah.
number 2, Jake?
Number 2 is your favorite team's parade.
Yeah.
And
That's a good one.
That's it,
Yeah.
number 2.
Number 1 for me, it's very simple. Victory parades are the best parades. Victory championship parades are the best parades. There is no equal. Because it's the only male one I ever went to go to because I wanted to celebrate a win.
The best part about these parades, and it's my number 1, is parades that have a rally at the end. Like, that's the cool part about this. We will get to the rally coming up here in about 20 minutes. Coming up next, we'll give you a chance to check out some sweet, sweet footballs that Nyco Sports giving away. Wrapping up, and they are gearing towards the rally portion of the parade coming up here in about 10, 15 or so minutes. If we will carry the rally portion of it live, where we will hear from several dignitaries, if you will, and of course the Kansas City Chiefs players, coaches, and should be a ton of fun. We'll get to that coming up here in just a little bit. But right now, we are going to bring on our good friend Bob Iback of Nyco Sports. And Bob, instead of just a Super Bowl football that Nyco Sports has a chance for you to purchase, it'll be Super Bowl champions this time, just like it was 3 years ago. And those footballs were excellent. I'm excited to see what these footballs end up looking like now that the Chiefs are Super Bowl 57 champs.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm so excited as well. You know, when we talked before the game, I think I don't want to brag a little bit, but I said, you know, the final score is going to be the Chiefs will win by 3 to 6 points, and I'll be doggone if they didn't go ahead and win 38-35. Although it was touch and go at halftime, I didn't know if we'd be talking to you. That was an amazing second half, and certainly a gutty performance again by Patrick Mahomes. I mean, to be able to, I've had a high ankle sprain myself when I played ball in high school and college basketball. I know how long that takes to recover and get your stability back. And running on that crazy field that was, slipping and sliding to begin with made it even more dangerous for Patrick. But, you know, as I mentioned before, we start off with 5,000 of these limited edition, full-size, officially licensed Super Bowl footballs, which also honored the Chiefs winning the AFC title again over Cincinnati, and that is positioned on this football as well. And I mentioned that it would be converted to Super Bowl champions when they won it, not if, but when, and certainly they turned in that performance to make that happen. We're down to probably less than 1,000 of these coming into the parade. We were on a couple places this morning that the lines just lit up, everybody on parade days in anticipation. So when I give out that phone number and website in just a moment, how you can get these footballs for just $119. The price is low when you compare it to paying anywhere from $2,000 to $40,000 for those tickets out in Arizona. This is something that'll last a lifetime because everything on the panels of the football are embossed, which will keep everything, the photos, the logos, the statistics. It'll keep it looking really pristine and fresh looking for years to come. It's a full-size football. It comes with a numbered certificate of authenticity. They're $119 each, with a portion of the proceeds going to a Mosca, which is the official charity of the Kansas City Chiefs. It's for a metropolitan organization to counter sexual assault. They do a great job. They teamed up with the Chiefs again this year, and a portion of every football sold will go to raise thousands of dollars for them as well. Now, before I give out that phone number and website, I do want to point out a couple channels on the football, and one of them is upgraded, which I know fans who heard me before, you will get the latest version of this. That's the one on the top panel where there's a beautiful color action photograph of Patrick Mahomes next to his career highlights. We've now added the MVP award for the National Football League that he got, as well as for the game. So he got a double MVP there. And then we have the Chiefs championship history right to the right of the picture. As I'm looking at it right now, I have a prototype. And then we have all three of the Super Bowls that they won listed right there. The panel right below that is we have the 2022 season, a recap, game by game in chronological order with the date, the score, the opponent. So you'll be able to remember years from now exactly how they got out to Arizona and played in Super Bowl 57. And then the final panel on there has the official AFC title logo, the big win against Cincinnati, and of course the Super Bowl 57 logo in Roman numerals, the final score against Philadelphia right there, 38-35, and then it says right underneath Super Bowl champion. So it's an outstanding looking football. It's a one of a kind. You will not be able to find this in stores or anywhere else. We're just doing it to raise monies for the charity, and we got about 800 to 1,000 of them still left coming into your show this afternoon. And I know with the parade wrapping up and the rally, these things will be done probably by Friday. So here's how you can go ahead and order. I'd say hurry up and do this sooner than later. It's 1-800-345-2868. That's toll free, 1-800-345-2868. Or simply go to the website. If you can't get through the phone lines, it's NICOsports.com, NIKCOsports.com. Again, that's spelled NIKCOsports.com. Or just call 1-800-345-2868. These footballs will be sent to you in late April, first week or so of May. It takes a little longer because of the embossing process. But keep in mind, that is going to go ahead and keep this thing looking pristine for many, many years to come. So I do encourage people, maybe get a couple extra because Mother's Day, Father's Day is coming up. You got birthdays, anniversaries. These, if you're a Chiefs fan, what a great gift idea to have and give to that loved one and to support the Kansas City Chiefs as well as their charity.
Bob, thank you so much for the time again. Nico Sports, NIKCOsports.com. Thank you so much, Bob. We appreciate the time, my friend.
Okay, listen, go enjoy that rally, and I know you'll be watching, and we'll catch you down the road. I still like KU basketball. You never know where March Madness is going to lead us.
Yeah, we found that out last year, no question. We'll get a quick time out. The rally going to get going here in just a little bit. Coming up, we'll hear from Mitch Holtis as things for the Chiefs rally start. Rally is underway. We felt like you didn't really care about what Governor Mike Parsons had to say, so we went ahead and, fed through that really, really quick. Same thing for the mayor of Kansas City. Right now, Tech Nine.
Yeah, folks, you down there at the rally are getting a free Tech Nine concert. He is rocking a crown. I don't know if Tech Nine usually has a crown. Tech Nine is rocking a crown. It is like, you remember when Burger King handed out those little paper crowns?
Yeah.
I want you to imagine that just slightly fancier and not made of like paper. And that feels like the crown that Tech Nine's wearing. It's like a poor man's Charlemagne knockoff. Tech Nine, you're better than this.
I'm all right with it, man. Like, he's Kansas City's, what do you call it? Musician that people know
I guess.
about,
Yeah.
Like, we've got Tech Nine. Like, St. Louis has Nelly. Seattle has Macklemore. I'm just trying to think of who is very, like, Jay-Z, New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Like,
I get it.
Tech Nine
There's
is
nothing wrong.
ours.
I'm enjoying
Atlanta is like 30 of them.
Yeah, Atlanta's like 1 billion.
Yeah, like Ludacris, Jermaine Dupri, Migos.
You're knowing a lot more than I do.
I know that. So that's why I got no problem with Tech Nine.
I got zero problem with my guy Tech Nine going
I really don't.
And now he's just, his song is wrapped up and it seems like he's just speaking from the heart to the crowd, which is nice. Go for Tech Nine.
He did. He came up with Red Kingdom, though.
Yeah. Which you listened to for like 20 minutes straight the other day.
Yeah, my son loves that song. Dad, can we listen to Red Kingdom? You bet, man. You bet. That song is being streamed more than I would ever thought it would. But you got to start him young. So we will get to the Chiefs rally here in moments when my guess is Clark Hunt will be the next one.
I have to assume once Tech Nine's done hyping up the crowd here, we'll have Clark Hunt bring the energy back down in the room. I guess the station. I guess the outside, the phrase in the room doesn't really apply when it's just a rally in front of Union Station.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Tech Nine's sitting here getting everybody hyped.
Yeah, and then we're going to go to Clark Hunt. It's going to become the most boring thing in the universe.
I want to, hey, Chiefs Kingdom, how are y'all doing out there?
That was I'm not going to call that a good Clark Hunt impersonation. I'm not going to go that far.
We are so proud of you. You showed up every single week.
Great work.
Chiefs Kingdom. I'm just so thankful for these players and the hard work that they put together.
I will say this in our discussion of places that have bans. Vance on the YouTube comments does make a great point. Topeka has Kansas.
Oh, yeah. Facts.
Vance, great point. Topeka does have Kansas.
Like back in the day, and I don't really know how, like, I want to say like in the 90s, they would just show up at certain bars and play.
Imagine just being absolutely hammered out of your mind at a bar here in Topeka and just Kansas shows up.
No, like Smitty. Rick's like, yeah, I mean, I've been at a bar and all of a sudden the band shows up and then they'll play. Or they're like scheduled to play, like nobody knows, but yeah, all of a sudden just carry on my wayward son, dust in the wind, fight fire with fire, point of no return, just hammered out the hit.
It seems the Chiefs have followed up Clark Hunt with the KC Rumble, the drum line. Not Clark Hunt, follow Tech 9 with the drum line.
Okay.
So we're keeping the vibes. We have a drum line and we have KC Wolf. We've moved to the musical talents portion of the show.
Yes.
But
see, I'm all right if
this is cool.
Yeah,
this is what Rally's for.
I have no problem with Tech 9. I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
Better than Mike Parsons.
Agreed.
I mean, we don't need that. Even Sam McDowell of the Star, Mike Parsons is going to turn this into his own State of the Union address.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do. It's kind of what happens. No, I am always cool with rallies that having musical guests.
Yeah, the
rallies deserve musical guests because musical guests fit rallies. Like, no, I'm cool with Tech 9. He got the crowd going. I'm cool with the KC Rumble being out here. The Rumble gets the crowd going. And people banging on drums and playing cymbals. It's cool. You got KC Wolf in the middle of this just having a good time.
Heck yeah.
Everybody's just having a great time. And that's what this is about. Everyone having a good time.
Exactly. And mascots are terrific.
Yeah, mascots are good. Live mascots are the best.
Yeah. But if you like the KC Wolf mascot's a good mascot.
Yes.
Big J, because it covers the whole thing.
Yes.
Good mascot. Pistol Pete, good mascot. For Oklahoma State,
Only thing I got wrong with Pistol Pete is that head just freaks me out.
He's terrifying.
Yeah, that's my problem with Pistol Pete.
Whereas, come on, Willie, we you can't just have a dude and then the head.
Like, I know it's gonna sound really bad coming from me of all people.
I just said it.
And I thank you for that, Jake. So I didn't have to say it. K-State get more creative. It's just a guy with a Wildcat head.
Come on now. Washburn needs to ditch their mascot and just have it be a person.
Yeah, people mascots dressed up are also cool.
Like, just dress up like an 8, like the guy at the top. Go like West Virginia or the Fighting Irish.
If your mascot is basically a person, like
that person.
The Fighting Irish, the Mountaineers, all that stuff,
and make it like a big deal, like the mascot for West Virginia. I mean, it's a big deal. So there really is. Mitch Holtis on the mic. Let's head to this is from courtesy of KSHB 41 TV, home of the Kansas City Chiefs on the TV side of things. Here is what Mitch Holtis is saying.
Red Reflection, your champions, Super Bowl 57, the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's just not what the champions of Super Bowl 57 did. It's how they did it. It's what they did in the circumstances in which they did it. People were predicting we would not make the playoffs. The kingdom would be covered in coal dust by Halloween. We were the first team in National Football League history to have to play our first 8 games against teams with winning records the year prior. We were the first team that had to play the first 5 games in 5 different time slots on 3 different days. We played a gauntlet of great quarterbacks and great teams, and we took care of all of it. This team This team, your champions of Super Bowl 57, are a Forevers team. And this afternoon, we celebrate that, the entire Chiefs Kingdom. And now, let's do this and do it right. And take off your headgear and celebrate the greatest nation in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
So we will get to the speaking. So I think Patrick Mahomes is going to speak. I think Travis Kelce is going to speak. And I don't know who else is going to speak. We need a Johnny Gomes moment. Do you remember Johnny Gomes?
Do we need that just for the energy Johnny had, or because he also had a fun outfit, didn't he?
No, but he talked about, didn't have the MVP, beat him.
Yeah, I remember.
Didn't have the Cy Young Award,
beat him
too.
Let's also remember when Travis Kelce said, "Shout out the World War I vets out there."
Yeah.
Legendary moment.
He really did.
Like, Trav, I respect you trying to shout some people out. That group of people ain't around anymore.
But he was shouting out the veterans.
I know.
He just wanted to...
Which is great. Like, that's very nice. That specific group of them, not around anymore. You'd have to have been 18 in 1916. I just picked an arbitrary year in there, folks. Don't get on me about the specific year. I just picked an arbitrary year in there.
Yeah. He did.
Those folks ain't around anymore.
He pointed to the people up on the memorials, like, shout out World War I vet.
He did.
He was trying to be sentimental while he was 8 sheets to the wind, is basically what he was trying to do.
Basically.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I appreciate that. I really, really do. So, I think those are the only two that I know will speak. I don't know who else wants to go. Chris Jones might.
Yeah, Chris Jones might.
I think Chris Jones could get a little bit wild. I can see that happening. That would be my guess.
One sneaky pick here. Juan Thornhill might try to get involved. He was one of the people along because KSHB, as they've been having their great production of this. I've had various players and whatnot. They've been speaking as they go on the streets. Juan Thornhill just kind of came up and grabbed a mic and started speaking his piece. Same thing for Justin Reed. They just got to find a microphone so they could give their piece. They might do the same thing at the rally. Who knows?
Yeah, I can see that happening. I really can. But we'll hear from Clark Hunt. We'll hear from Brett Veach. We'll hear from Andy Reid. I'm guessing all three of them are going to speak.
I'd have to imagine.
But everyone who's covering it says there's more people there now than there were 3 years ago.
Yeah, I'd agree. Looks like Mitch has moved back to the podium.
All righty, let's head back to the Chiefs' finish of the rally in Union Station.
10 points at halftime. In Super Bowl history, teams that trailed by 10 points or more were 1-26. Now it's 2-26. Let's go back to the desert and celebrate an incredible victory. Andy Reid changed these two franchises and made them consistent winners. And we are finally ready to start this game. Mahomes in the pocket, floats a pass near side. Kelce over the shoulder. He's got the catch. He's got the touchdown. The ball's out. He kicks the ball. It's picked up by Kansas City. They're going to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown. But he's ankle tackled there at the 36. And he's hurt. Mahomes is hurt. He will gain 12 yards on a scramble on a bad ankle. They hand it off. Left guard. It goes. Touchdown. Kansas City. Pass to Tony. He's got it on the edge. He will walk into the end zone. A pass left side wide open. Sky Moore. Touchdown. Kansas City. What bad ankle. He is limping back to the huddle. McKinnon on a counter. Angling to the 5. And he's going to slide down at the 1. Very smart inbounds. 11 seconds left in Super Bowl 57, 35-35 tie. The kick is good, and Kansas City leads 38-35. Hurts takes the snap. The Chiefs only rushing 2 on a delay. Clock is going to be out of time, and the pass is going to be underthrown. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. Everyone who claims the Chiefs Kingdom will raise a banner above the National Football League again. For the second time in 4 seasons, the Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection. Yes, this was a team that grabbed a bucket of guts and got it done. Now it is time. We have 2 Lombardi trophies in front of you. It is time now to welcome to the stage the best ownership family in all of professional sports. Please welcome the Hunt family and the chairman and CEO of the Kansas City Chiefs, Clark Hunt, with your 3rd Lombardi Trophy.
How about it, Kansas City? You are world champions for the 3rd time. It is so great to be back here celebrating with you, and I'm glad it didn't take another 50 years. There is nothing like the pure joy of a Super Bowl parade. It's a joy that comes from getting to share it with the people you love. It's a joy that comes from knowing the hard work it took to get here. In the past 2 seasons, we fell just short of our goal. That disappointment led some to doubt us. Heading into training camp, a lot of the so-called experts counted us out. They said we were going to take a step back. They said our division was too tough and that we would be lucky to even make the playoffs. But we knew better. This team knew better, and Chiefs Kingdom, you knew better. I am so proud of this team, their fight, their resilience, their heart. They didn't listen to the noise. They were motivated by the doubters because they knew we had everything we needed to make another run. As the great Mitch Holthus told the world, you can doubt the Chiefs, you can dislike the Chiefs, you can disrespect the Chiefs, but you're going to have to deal with the Chiefs. The great thing about pro football is that it is the ultimate team sport, and it takes a great team to do something special. The Lord has blessed our family with an amazing group throughout the franchise. That starts with President Mark Donovan. Mark's been here for 14 years, and he helped lay the foundation to bring in Andy Reid and Brett Veach. Mark and his entire team worked tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that the Chiefs franchise is the standard in the National Football League. Mark's leadership is essential to the championship culture of this organization. And oh, by the way, today is his birthday. Let's hear it for Mark. On the football side, it doesn't get any better than Brett Veach. He's smart, he's aggressive, and he's always working to make the team better. Brett and his outstanding staff made some big moves this offseason to put us in a position to win, both now and into the future. If you needed any proof of Brett's genius, look at the young guys on this team. 20 of the last 22 draft picks were on the active Super Bowl roster. We had 10 rookies play in the Super Bowl, the most of any team in 33 years. And 2 of those guys scored touchdowns. It's all a testament to Brett and his player personnel staff, so let's hear it for Brett Veach. And how about Big Red? Ten years ago, when Andy showed up, it completely changed the perception of Chiefs football. We've had a winning record in every one of his 10 seasons in Kansas City. Andy's staff and players love him, believe in him, and trust him completely. I said it after the Super Bowl, and I'll say it again. We've known for a long time that Andy Reid is a Hall of Fame coach, but I'll take it a step further. I truly believe that Andy is one of the greatest coaches in the history of the NFL. And of course, the guys in uniform who made it all happen on the field. This is a remarkable group of men led by the undisputed best player in pro football, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick is a generational talent, and he's the first person this century to win both the MVP and Super Bowl MVP honors in the same season. And how about Travis Kelce? Beyond his amazing ability to get open, he's the emotional heartbeat of this team, and of course, the life of the party. Let's give it up for our incredible defense, led by Chris Jones, Nick Bolton, and Justin Reed. These guys made us all proud. In the lead up to the Super Bowl, I spoke to people from coast to coast and around the world. There's no doubt that the Chiefs Kingdom has grown. We've got fans all over the country and all over the world celebrating with us today. This team, with your support, has put Kansas City on the international map. Your passion, your energy, and quite frankly, your vocal cords have earned Chiefs Kingdom the reputation as the greatest fan base in the NFL. All around the world, they know about the Kansas City Chiefs. And the one thing they know for sure is that Kansas City is a city of champions. Thank you for your part in it. Thank you for being here today. And congratulations to Chiefs Kingdom. Once again, you're world champions.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium the man who set the foundation as early as 2009 through our whole organization, the birthday man today, President Mark Donovan. Thank you, Chiefs Kingdom. Let me first start by thanking Clark, Lamar, Sharon, Dan. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you. My wife is going to have a hard time topping this birthday next year. So I want to start with Clark, Lamar, Sharon, Dan. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the opportunity to do just an amazing thing in working for you and this family. I get to work with Andy and Brett every single day, and I would say to you two that every day's a grind. Seems like we're dealing with stuff that no one will ever know about. I would not want to be with anybody else in that grind. So thank you, guys. I love you. I want to thank our staff, the people who make GEHA Field so special and create the Arrowhead experience. I see you guys. You guys are special.
I tell you that all the time. Not everybody can do what we do, and you guys do it, and we are world famous because of you people. So thank you for that. I get to stand up here and speak, and I get a lot of opportunities to represent this organization. I just want to recognize the leaders of our organization. These people do the work. These people make it special. These people are the ones, and they're the reasons we are a model franchise in the National Football League. Dan Crum, Kirsten Krug, Ted Cruz, Laura Krug, Matt Kenny, Tyler Kirby, Kim Hobbs. I love you guys. I appreciate everything you do. I want to end with a story you may have heard. After the Super Bowl, I was in the locker room, and Patrick was yelling at me from across the locker room. He kept saying, Mark, 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 do you remember what I told you? Do you remember what I told you? And what he told me, which I did remember, was that when we won the opportunity to bring the NFL draft to this town, he said, I guarantee you one thing, when the whole world is looking at Kansas City, when the whole league is coming to Kansas City, when every team from every franchise is coming to our town, they're going to be coming to the home of the reigning world champions. Thank you.
We have an incredible organization. I see people down here from athletic training, from our video staff to our equipment staff, the best in the league. But we have a group of people that work tirelessly all year long to make you a winner. And leading that group is our general manager. Let me just put it this way. When we played in the conference championship game and beat the Cincinnati Bengals, in that game, we tied an all-time National Football League record, playing 8 rookies on defense and special teams. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, General Manager Brett Veach.
Thank you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, start the season, 24 new faces, and 11 of them are rookies, and many people thought this was a retooling year. So, in Kansas City, this is what a rebuilding year looks like right here. I know how this drill works. I'm on a time limit. I just checked my phone. We got 8 minutes to get another epic Travis Kelce speech, so I got to be quick. I got it. So let me say my thank yous first, and starting at the top with the Hunt family, Clark Tavia, his amazing family. Thank you so much. You guys are truly the best owners in all of professional sports. Thank you so much. Mark, I love you, man. Happy birthday. You do so much on the business side, but people will never know how much you do behind the scenes for Coach and I, and you're certainly the best. Hall of Fame Coach Andy Reid. Yeah, the best, man. I love you. Your staff, amazing. What they did with these young guys and all the turnover is nothing short of amazing. The support staff, Rick Burkholder and his staff. I don't know where you are, Rick. Yeah, I mean, keeping Pat Mahomes healthy is probably the most important job. So Rick and his staff, thank you so much. Alan Wright, I see you there, Alan Wright. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, man. You've been here for a while. Appreciate all your work, Pat Brazil, the entire support staff, and the staff that's closest to me, my personnel staff right there. You guys are awesome. I actually texted them on the way down to the game and said, I feel like the Speaker of the House and not the general manager, because you guys are so smart. You blessed me with so many great ideas. Our roster, our team, I've never been around a group of players that were so unselfish and really every step of the way emphasize team. So thank you very much. And last but not least, the Kingdom, you guys make everything happen. We are here for you, so thank you very much.
Give another big cheer to this incredible group of people on the stage. And as they exit the stage, we're just minutes away from welcoming your champions. But let's meet now the other half of our Chiefs cheer squad.
Brett Veach, not a hype man. That is for a fact.
The Chiefs executive, not hype man.
Not a hype man. Mark Donovan, not a hype guy. You went from Tech 9 to Clark Hunt to Mark Donovan to Brett Veach. Honestly, like every one of them getting progressively less excited. But this is how apparently precedent has been set, and hopefully at some point in time, precedent will be moved to, let's just have Mitch Holtis talk about the season and introduce the players and let the players talk for about 30 minutes. And then we can go on.
We need all this other stuff though, Jake. Don't we?
Like, I like the lead up, like get the dancers in there.
Yeah, it's fine. Get the recognition. I don't need to hear from
I got no problem with that. We don't really need,
no
8 other people to speak at this thing.
Patrick Mahomes has entered the stage and he is zooted. Is the word I would use. He is standing behind Mitch Holtis, arms extended, MVP trophy in one hand, beer in the other, rocking a championship. He is my legend. He is my GOAT.
He is really standing behind him. Oh,
the
my
king.
goodness.
The absolute king.
Okay. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please now welcome the only coach in National Football League history to win double-digit playoff games with 2 separate teams. Second all-time in National Football League history with 22 playoff wins. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Red, Andy Reid.
I'll tell you what, there's some great cities in America, but there's no place you'd rather be and no greater place to be than right here, baby. You are the kingdom, and let's give it one for the world. How about those Chiefs? That's what we're talking about. I'm very proud of these guys on the stage, very proud of our organization. Very proud of all the guys that Brett Veach mentioned. They're out in the crowd here. We have the number one. Not very often are you able to say you're the greatest team in the world and have the greatest players in the world and have the greatest organization in the world and most of all the greatest fans in the world. We love you, man. I'm going to turn the microphone over to these guys. They do a lot better at this than I do.
Thank you, Coach. Now, no quarterback in the history of the Super Bowl had been MVP and won the Super Bowl in the same season. Until now, ladies and gentlemen, the best quarterback in the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes.
Kansas City, how we feeling today, baby? How we feeling? Kansas City with the world champs, can I get a hell yeah? Hey, we just want to say we appreciate everybody that's here today. We're back again. We're back again. Before we started this season, the AFC West said we were rebuilding. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what rebuilding means. not rebuilding you. We're world champs. We're world champs. I just want to say we appreciate everybody here today. Arrowhead Stadium's one of a kind, and we just want to say Chiefs Kingdom is one of a kind. So give a round of applause for everybody that's standing here today. And before I give it to the main show, Travis Kelce, I just want to let y'all know that this is just the beginning. We ain't done yet. So I'll make sure to hit y'all back next year, and I hope the crowd's the same. Appreciate y'all. Let's go, baby.
All right. Now, he set an all-time Chiefs record this year with 180 tackles. And when we needed our defense, they stepped up all year. And how about a scoop and score for a touchdown? Kansas City in Super Bowl 57, linebacker Nick Bolton. We are Nick.
Nick Bolton's a little shy, so we're gonna get him up here. There you go.
How we doing, Chiefs Kingdom? Hey, man, I just want to give y'all a special shout out, man. I appreciate our support, man, from Missouri all the way to here, man. Like Pat said, man, it's just the beginning. We're just getting started, man. I see y'all boys next year. I kind of get a big old MIZ.
Now, he set an all-time Super Bowl record and pro football record in the postseason with 13 games with 75 yards or more, better than any player that's ever played in this league. Let me put it this way. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce together have 11 playoff wins. That is more than 8 franchises have total. Ladies and gentlemen, the best tight end in the National Football League, TK, Travis Kelce.
Chiefs Kingdom, let me hear you!
Let me take you back to 2022 in the month of maybe April. Maybe. Guys were getting signed left and right. The haters were saying that the Chiefs would never make the playoffs. The haters were saying the Chiefs were done. If you knew the Chiefs were gonna win the division, let me hear you say, hell yeah. All right now. If you knew the Chiefs were gonna get the #1 seed, let me hear you say, hell yeah. I knew it, you knew it, but they ain't know it. If y'all knew that Patrick Mahomes was gonna win the MVP, let me get a hell yeah. If you knew the Kansas City Chiefs were gonna have the best offense in the National Football League, let me hear you say, na 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 na. That's a good one right there. I like that one right there. If you knew Chris Jones was gonna be the best defensive player in the nation, let me hear you say, na 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 na. That feels so good, don't it? Let me hear you say, na 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 na. All right, all right, all right. Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, we do this for you guys. I want you guys to genuinely know this. We do this for you guys. And we love every single time you make Arrowhead shake. Woo! It makes me feel like, na. In all reality, this was the best season of my life. I owe it to you guys. I owe it to the guys on this stage. I owe it to everybody in Chiefs Kingdom and the organization that we've been able to create. Everybody's asking, this is a dynasty. It's been a dynasty. Y'all just ain't know this shit until now. Believe that shit, feel that shit, and it's Chiefs Kingdom forever, baby. We love y'all.
Travis Kelce eventually got to what we thought he would.
We knew it. We knew it.
Say some things that are not allowed on the radio that are allowed on the internet. So
Travis, you can't say that. We've been over this.
We can't say that on there. So, but I Patrick Mahomes, I don't even know if he knows where he's at right now. Just looking at Patrick
no.
Mahomes.
There's not a mic. He does not. Listening to him speak, Pat does not know where he is. I do not think if you ask Patrick right now where he is, that he would know.
And then I am stunned they went to Nick Bolton. I'm not gonna lie to you. They ended up going to Nick Bolton, but I thought
that was the most I think I've heard Nick Bolton speak all year. It might be. It might actually be. But I want it to be known to everybody a little behind the scenes as this rally kind of continues. As soon as Travis grabbed the mic, I've been hovering over that dump button the entire time. Was waiting for it. Love you, Travis.
Chris Jones has grabbed the mic, but unfortunately we cannot air that right now because our delay function is not. Has it gotten back up to where we could?
We're about 2.5 seconds right now. I don't think we're at the right point here yet. Yeah, that's the bad part about a little inside radio because we have to fill thanks to Travis.
Yeah,
a little inside radio. How our dump system works is once we dump it, we have to wait for it to build back up to where it was, and so. Thanks to Travis, I think we might miss the entire end of the parade. So thank you, Travis Kelce. We'll get you any, if we can't get back to the parade, we'll get you the best quotes that we can from the parts that we missed.
Travis Kelce did not use he did not drop an F-bomb. Stunned at that. But look at that. He's evolving. But can we talk about Travis Kelce going full Master P? I don't know what Master P took over him or
I don't know.
not.
I will say this, and I will admit, like, Travis Kelce might be the best NFL player at cutting a promo. Like, Travis Kelce is professional wrestling good at cutting a promo. Like, this man is Dwayne Johnson's level of good at cutting a promo.
He really is.
It's amazing. It's absurdly amazing.
We'll get a quick timeout. The parade is now done with the speeches. Confetti is flying everywhere. They're having a good time on the stage.
That's the right note, I think, for us to end at least our part of the streaming on. Honestly, we ended on having to dump profanity because of Travis Kelce.
Yeah. We'll get a quick timeout. We'll get a little reaction to the Chiefs parade and the rally here on Mic'd Up. Finishing things up, and you could definitely tell that there was a theme to this one. Brett Veach lifting up the Lombardi Trophy, and he goes, "This is what a rebuilding year looks like in Kansas City," and the crowd went nuts, absolutely nuts. Andy Reid, man, a few words.
Very few words.
There are some great cities in America, but there's no place you'd rather be, and no greater place than right now here in Kansas City, baby. And then Patrick Mahomes took the mic, and Patrick Mahomes wanted to
about 80,000 Coors Lights deep.
He was still holding a Coors Light while he was
Also, shout
partying.
out Patrick for handing the Super Bowl MVP trophy to George Karlaftis while he spoke.
Yes.
Just passed those like, George, hold this.
Well, there's video of him holding the Lombardi Trophy and just giving it to some random fan, saying, "Here, hold this. I got to go somewhere else."
Pat's like, he's got two of them now. He has two of those.
Yeah. So,
just entertainment.
And then Patrick Mahomes says, "I gotta be honest." They said it was a rebuilding year, and he says, "I gotta be honest. I don't know what rebuilding means."
That was a beautiful delivery.
Very good. In our rebuilding year, we're the world champs. And then Travis Kelce takes the mic.
Oh, Travis. It's the best.
And for some odd reason, Travis Kelce
became Master P?
Became Master P. I will say this. It was a little bit, I think they were given instructions not to go
I think
off,
they were
off script.
Yeah, I think they were explicitly told to try and keep it a little bit in the borders.
Yeah.
Which I will give Travis Kelce the most credit.
Yeah.
He kept it on track for 96% of his speech.
Yes.
We knew it wasn't going to be 100. We knew it wasn't going to be 100.
And he did the same thing, they didn't think we'd win the West.
That was awesome.
Because in that situation, he wanted to probably say other things. And then
he wanted to say some probably real bad things there, but he's like, all right, I'll be nice.
And then at the end, he said, there's Patrick Mahomes winning the MVP.
That was...
No. I'm like, all right, Master P lives on, man.
When we got the classic hell yeah responses, that was great. That's a classic call-in response. When Travis started doing that, I'm like, what is happening?
I want to say Master P's make him say, no. I added the no. It's just make him say, I think that wasn't even in in like 2000. I think that was earlier than 2000. Because I was that was a hit, and I wasn't even in high school. Because Travis is 33, so the fact that, and I'm 5 years older than Travis Kelce, so he had to been like when was yeah.
I'm working on it.
No,
1997.
Yeah, so it was released in 97, so it probably wasn't a big hit until 1998. Travis Kelce was born in 89. So he would have been like 10. He'd have been 10 years old when Make Him Say was a hit. So like I remember Make Him Say when that was a hit.
I was 1 year old when that came out, so I don't have a fond memory of it coming out.
I remember when DMX and
the legend
and his hit the Rough Riders national anthem.
Yep. Great time.
I remember that.
That's some good stuff.
I remember he was 10. That's hysterical. It really
I just want to know what caused you to be possessed by Master P in that moment.
Right. What caused him to be possessed was
probably his 20 pounds of Bud Lights.
Yeah. How about that starter jacket?
Very nice.
If those starter jackets are coming back,
you're about to be very happy, man.
That's going to be awesome.
That's
because
fair.
I will be getting matching starter jackets for me and my son and my daughter. Yes. My daughter will wear one until
whether she likes it or not.
Well, until she was like, Dad, these are not in style for, I'm not going to wear this.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, all right, fine. And yes, because those things were so fantastic. Those starter jackets were awesome. And then the gigantic Bud Light chain.
Oh, you mean that chain that probably cost more than our yearly salaries combined?
Oh yeah. I mean that thing was iced out.
That was hilarious.
How much did Bud Light pay him to do that?
I don't know. And whatever the number is, wasn't enough. Because that moment was fantastic. Like watching Travis turn the corner, and I just seemed like, oh, he's wearing a chain. Then I got clear, but like, no, he's not only wearing a chain. He's wearing a big old Bud Light chain. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Everything. Those guys had so much fun. Just so much fun.
Patrick Mahomes had to use the porta potty on the what do you call it? On the parade route. There's some video of Travis Kelce using a porta potty, or Patrick Mahomes using a porta potty, and he gets out. And as he gets out of the porta potty, everybody just starts cheering for him. Hey, the MVP went to the bathroom. And then he immediately goes from the porta potty to going and high-fiving people.
Hey, man. There's hand sanitizer in those sometimes.
The odds that he used that when he is on planet Mars is what?
He ain't even on Mars. He's further out in the solar system. But he's in the Andromeda Galaxy. And that's what I could tell. Like, when they handed him the mic, I'm like, okay. He starts speaking, and I'm going, oh, no, he's not in there. No one's home. No one is home.
That was...
I'm glad the guys had fun, though. They had a lot of fun. I'm happy. They deserve it.
Man.
They deserve it.
The Chiefs victory parade, a good one. Now I wonder do they all stay together? Because this is really the last time that this team will be together.
Yeah, reportedly, I was reading a great piece by Nate Taylor in The Athletic today about some of the Chiefs.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us where they were going to party at.
No, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
no, but he mentioned that Andy Reid even told them that in the post-game locker room after the win of the Super Bowl was guys, enjoy this. We're probably not all back together again next year. Like, that's just, and they understand, like, that's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of how the game works. Like, you can't pay everybody. Some of these guys are going to be gone. They're going to go off to do a different thing for a different team. So relish the moment together, Who knows if Jerick McKinnon's on this team again next year? You don't know.
I hope he is.
I wouldn't mind it.
I think McKinnon's got something left in the tank.
I do, but who knows if McCole Hardman's with this team next year? Who knows if Andrew Wiley's with this team next year? Like, he signed a really cheap $2.5 million deal for the Chiefs this year. That Super Bowl performance alone might have just gotten Andrew Wiley a bit of a bag. Like, is someone going to pay him a bunch? Probably not. Did his price just get much more expensive where the Chiefs might not be able to keep him and have to go for Lucas Niang at right tackle? They might.
Mm-hmm.
Which means Andrew Wiley, like, offensive line, you guys might have this been one of the last times you can party with him. It's all those little things, we don't know what Juju's going to do, stuff like that. So, no, I hope these guys spend most of today just enjoying life together. They all seem like they are. They very much seem like they are.
They definitely seem like
they are
having
just
a good
enjoying
time.
and living life, and I am so happy for them. They have earned it.
Let us know if you watched it or were there driving back, because I know a lot of people who were at the parade.
Yeah, didn't go to the rally.
Didn't go to the rally, and they're already on their way home.
Yeah.
Well, because there's no room down there.
Yeah.
It did look like there were
house.
more people than 3 years ago. It really, really did. I do think that. So we got a few more breaks to get to after listening to the Chiefs rally. We'll get one more quick timeout. We'll get to some more discussion on the Chiefs and the game against the Eagles. Parade and rally finishing up, but the party is still going to be going somewhere in Kansas City. And maybe if you are the lucky one, you end up at the spot where the Chiefs are partying tonight.
Party at Travis's house. I don't know how big of a place he has.
I don't know.
Party at Patrick's house.
Well, I know he's got a pretty big place.
Yeah, but he also has 2 kids.
Yeah. Got to keep it down there. Unless his kids are sleepers.
Yeah.
Maybe you're all right. But his house is probably big enough where you could probably party in one other area. And they probably got sound machines.
Party at Big Red's house. Now that's where we party. We party at Big Red's house.
The sound machine cuts out a lot of noise. I will say that.
Is that a trick you guys use?
Well, a lot of the times parents use, like white noise.
Yeah.
To soothe them because
I think that's the thing I've heard about. I obviously have zero experience in this area.
So we still use that for our youngest. Our oldest, not as much because he's getting a little bit older. But also, not to get too far into the weeds, but when they hear that sound, they think of sleeping. And so it puts them it's a routine.
A little Pavlovian in there.
Everything is routine and schedule when you're, between the age of 8 months and 2 years old.
Okay.
After that, like my son's not on a schedule. We try.
That's fair.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, that tracks.
So, but that'd be all right. But yeah, we can party at Pat's house. Why not?
No, party at Big Red's house. I've changed mine. Party at Big Red's house.
I bet he has good food there.
Yeah, that's why.
I bet he does.
Party at Big Red's.
I wonder what Big Red drinks. I bet he doesn't drink a lot.
No, I don't think so. He's never come across to me as a big drinker.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Me, Big Red only has a couple of beers.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, let me ask you this.
I will attempt to give you an answer.
I think the Eagles showed how you have to play the Kansas City Chiefs going forward. If you don't do what the Eagles did, imagine if the Eagles weren't as aggressive on 4th down. If they didn't go for it on 4th and 4. If they didn't go for it on or have the wherewithal to run it on 3rd and 4, get to 4th and 1.
Yeah, set yourself up better for 4th down play.
You're gonna go for it. And the reason I bring that up is that was the plan for them to win this game. The plan was we have to keep the football and we've got to score when we get it. Mm-hmm. And they did that 1 too few a time. That was it. 1 fewer time than the Kansas City Chiefs. And it worked for them. They ran out of time, and that was the biggest issue there. The Chiefs kept the football away from them. And that's the reason why I look at the rest of the NFL as that is how you have to operate against this Chiefs team. Too many coaches play to keep it close instead of trying to win.
Yeah, that's a football-wide problem and beyond playing the Chiefs. But with the Chiefs specifically, yes.
Yes, with the Chiefs specifically, punting on 4th and 2 at the 45-yard line, against the Texans is a smart move. Against the Jets was a smart move, but not against the Chiefs. And so the thing about that is you can lose the game in the second quarter, but you have to be that aggressive in the second quarter if you want to win the game. Case in point, let's say the Eagles went for it on 4th down and they didn't get it when they went for it on 4th and 4 or whatever it was. Chiefs have the football, they drive down, they score. Now you're already in the hole, and that's one time. Second time, let's say they don't get it on 4th down, and now the Chiefs get the stop again, and instead of getting a field goal, they got no points. Then the Chiefs come down and they score. To me, the Chiefs have been so good that they put you to a decision early on in a game that you are not accustomed to or feel comfortable with gambling for it, because in the back of your mind, you say, we still have the second half. But the problem is that unless you put yourself in a better spot in the second half, you won't have a chance at winning. That's the reason why every NFL head coach and every NFL team needs to look at that. It will work sometimes. It will work. But it will also backfire completely, and you will get housed, because if you make that decision and you don't get it, Chiefs go down and score. Instead of being, let's say you're down 7 with 4 minutes to go in the first half, it's 4th and 3 at the 10-yard line. Chiefs have the football to start the second half. You need 7. Because 3 points probably not going to help you out enough over the course of the game. So you go for it. You don't get it. Chiefs drive down, get a field goal. Now they're up 10. Chiefs get the ball to start the second half, score a touchdown. Now they're up 17. Game's essentially over. But you went for it though.
Yes,
that's what I mean. Like they Chiefs make you, for a reference for Texas Hold'em, they cause you to push your chips in earlier than you don't want to in order for you to have a chance to win.
And that's like, there's a longer discussion I think that should be had about the way the football needs to be changed in aggressive coaching in general. But the Eagles were the perfect team mentally to face a team like Kansas City, because they played aggressive all year, because that's what you have to do against good offense. And to me, it goes beyond just playing Kansas City, but Kansas City is the big one. No team has ever beaten the Chiefs consistently by being passive. You cannot play this team passively, because they are too good, and more importantly, they are too potent offensively for you to beat them passively. You have to be aggressive when you play the Chiefs. You have to understand that you can't play the field position game. You can't just be like, I'll sacrifice some points here and maybe pin them deep. Because every time you put the ball in the hands of Patrick Mahomes, the greatest quarterback in the NFL right now, they can go get 7. From where you have them start. I mean, think about, the Jaguars when they were like, even if it wasn't Mahomes, like, we'll pin Chad Henne back at the 2-yard line. They went 98 yards for a touchdown. Like, you have to play aggressively against the Chiefs. The Eagles showed that if you do that, you give yourself the best chance to win. The only reason the Eagles had a chance there, outside some other factors, is because they coached aggressively. They coached to win the game. They did not coach to keep it close. They didn't coach to make the losing less painful. They coached to win.
If they didn't, this game wouldn't even been close. Because they had to convert 11 of 18 third downs and go 2 of 2 on 4th down.
Yeah.
To win.
Coaches should be inherently more aggressive than they are.
I wonder if that'll change going into next year.
We'll see. That's a longer form discussion, but
you got to risk it though early, and I don't think coaches are willing to do that.
It requires a fundamental change in the fundamental ideology of football, is what it requires.
Coming up next, we will get things finished off with the mic drop. the mic drop here on Mic'd Up. Fulton, what do you got?
Even though the rally is now concluded and today was kind of the culmination of the celebration, don't let that bring your vibes down for the rest of the week and the rest of this month. Your Kansas City Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. Let a little bit of that positive energy carry you as long as you feel like. But today was very fun.
I did not realize that Master P's make him say, was that iconic. But if it's almost 30 years from being released and people drop it in Super Bowl rallies, props to Master P, man. He made a classic. He really, really did. That's classic. We got a lot more to get to. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon. 580 Sports Talk coming up next here on 580 WWW.